And welcome back, young Smite fans. Still here at hi-rez Studios in Alpharetta, Georgia. Joined here by DM Brandon and the rest of hi-rez Studios. One in the books, or rather, I guess it's the third game of the afternoon for Cloud9. They played a previous set against Enemy Esports. They took it really, really well. They win game one, or they lose game one, or they win game one.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm getting there, man.
Let's take a look at the solo laners. We have a matchup here for you. This is going to be Divios from Team SoloMid and Omega, champion solo laner from Cloud9. Now, overall right now, gold per minute belongs heftily right now to Omega, but Divios with the KDA of 4.3.
Yeah, Divios' KDA definitely a little strong this time around. He, of course, just to clarify, Team SoloMid took game one. This is a 3-game set, so Divios and his team will try to win the next one, and then this one early, while Omega and his team will try to stretch it out to a 3-game set. But all that said, that's in the past. Now we're in the future, and let me give you a present of picks and bans.
Going in, this is going to be game 2. Again, first team to 2 wins the set and the match, of course. Cloud9 with their option will... God damn.
The Hades ban coming out from Cloud9. And I mean, that right there is, all right, you can play it.
Can you hear Divios going,
Yes, I can. I actually requested earlier, I asked production if we could just have a Divios cam that we could tap into at any moment during the game to catch that giggling. Right now is definitely when I would use it. But so Cloud9, they ban out Hades. Let's talk about this because, I mean, it's a reactionary ban, right? They're sister teams, so they've played together, but Team SoloMid and Cloud9 are separate entities. They want to protect their own stuff, so maybe they've seen the Hades, maybe they haven't. But with this ban, it's telling me that they haven't seen it, Brandon, because it hurt them real hard and they don't know how to react. Is that why we're seeing this ban?
You can't react. The character doesn't have any weaknesses. He's crazy.
Okay.
I love him.
All right.
You know the rule. If it ain't
Don't
OP,
fight the bug?
No, if it ain't OP, it ain't for me.
All right. It rhymes. That counts. Sylvanas also banned out on the side of Team SoloMid. Bastet, first pick.
Yeah.
Interesting choice, not something I disagree with, but definitely
I think it's
curious
great
to see.
Not only is it taking it away from Gars,
right.
But it's putting it in the hands of Andy, who likes to rotate. Interesting, though, this will be the first time that we've seen Cloud9 not run Serqet.
Yeah, previously, and that's sort of why I mentioned the Bastet. Previously, Anister has just really, really liked Serqet. Not quite to the level of Weaken, but definitely a proponent of the character of Serqet. Rama going to be picked up again, this time on the side of Team SoloMid. So Barra played it last time for Cloud9. Snoopy's turn, and he's going to pick up Rama.
Yeah, Rama early is good because it defeats the paradigm. The rock, paper, scissors of Artemis beats Cupid, loses to Xbalanque, who beats who loses to Cupid, right? So this is good because Rama just 5/5s each of them. Does better against Xbalanque early, loses to Xbalanque late, right?
Right.
But this ensures that they can pick whatever hunter they want early, allowing better counter pick potential later on. So right here, they could solo pick and then solo ban. They could mid pick, mid ban. This is a really good dynamic. Ares Xbalanque, though, if you're looking to die, that's the lane to go to, man.
Definitely interesting choice here, and I love to see when players branch out. Jeff Hindler, traditionally, as we see Serqet picked up for the jungler.
Are they just swapping?
Yes.
You're like, let's just do the same teams, but you guys play the... And the Divio's like, no, I'm playing Hades. Or Omega.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with that guy.
So Jeff Hindler is very known for, we mentioned it last game, he's known for really defensive gods, whether it's Gab or Bacchus previously, although Bacchus is offensive. He's known for gods like Gab and Sylvanas, real defensive-oriented gods. Ares, completely the opposite direction, peels by providing damage. So an offensive god in the hands of Jeff Hindler. I love to see players sort of branch out and play things that they're not used to playing.
So bans coming out, we're going to see Scylla and Poseidon taken away here. Option once again to Team SoloMid. They're likely going to be picking up their mage here, saving the final pick once again for the solo lane. Knowing Boosh, Rock, Kulkin on the board, I imagine that's what we're going to see.
There it is. Beautiful pickup is right here in the middle lane. We've got 2 more picks on the side of Cloud9. Scylla being banned out, we didn't mention, for the side of Team SoloMid. Just really protecting that. They don't want to see MLC Scylla.
I'm really surprised to see Stealth opt once again for Zhong, especially with Agni still on the table. For real.
He's played a lot of him, not just this season. We saw a lot of Zhong on MLC Stealth in the past.
True.
Which is, again, interesting because it's an opposite mindset of things like Scylla that we're used to seeing him play. So Cloud9 going for characters that, while we've seen Jeff play Ares, we've seen MLC Stealth play Zhong, sort of characters that different mindsets.
Bakasura, this should be an Aphrodite pick for the counter matchup. I don't know, however, if Devios has Aphrodite in the God pool, generally favoring tankier characters like hi-rez or Tyr. As we see Tyr locked in, he is also likely the best Tyr player.
Tyr on Devios, definitely one of the better Tyr players is Devios. And Bakasura, it's really hard to say Bakasura loses any matchup. The community's pretty split on whether or not that Aphrodite is a hard counter. You're not split. You're very strong on that. I know Omega recently did an AMA in our Smite, and he was talking about how it's not counter matchup.
That's because people don't build the sprint. They just let Bakasura kill them.
So it's a little bit split. Tyr, on the other hand, Tyr versus Bakasura. Tyr does rather well. The Fearless kind of controls Bakasura, but he's probably not going to kill the assassin.
Fair enough. But will generally have better rotations and a much better teamfight presence endgame, as he is a lot more tanky. Will have a secondary frontliner on top of the fact that one good Fearless in a game could really turn the fight instantaneously.
Fearless is one of my favorite abilities because of how easily it's countered, Brandon. Beads and a Magi's. You can't Fearless
Magi's,
but if your team does the work, that Fearless comes through, as you said, a single Fearless will change a team fight, and if it's late enough, will change the entire game. This character is so polarizing in the professional community because of how easy it's countered, but also how devastating it could be when it actually works.
Once again, for the sixth straight game today, we are going to see, we did see an invade once in the last game, but no invade here. And it's always very curious to me to see Bakasura not invade, considering they can, I think it's like 4 auto attacks and Hand of the Gods, right, into a steal. It's guaranteed.
Well, that's your catchphrase, never invade ever.
Yeah, that's obviously it.
Buffs are going to be picked up by the teams in their respective jungles, and as Brandon said, pretty standard start up for all 5 members of Team SoloMid and their blue team counterparts, Cloud9, G2a, and everybody will make it to the waves as we start our game. 1 game into a 3-game set. This is game 2 with Team SoloMid with the advantage over their opponent, Cloud9, G2a. Once again, reiterating, folks, these are your teams that qualified for Worlds this January.
It looks like pretty much the entire waves here are going to get lost in terms of gold. No, they'll get 1. So, a pretty big win as you see Anister rotating to mid immediately. Great start here for Cloud9.
We've seen junglers do this a little bit differently. Normally it was just stay in the solo lane and protect your solo laner. Now we're seeing the early rotations coming out. Speaking of early rotations, early damage coming out. Ares and Xbalanque. Shippy's going to make the dive, and Geb already very low. Barracuda gets the first kill. Ionic down for the count. Over the wall comes the cat. Is it enough? And it is! The dot kills, the duo lane dies, and Cloud9 leads this game 2-0, and we're not even a minute and a half underway.
That was a 1 minute, 20-second jungler rotation to duo dive?
Yep.
And not to mention, Xbalanque picks up an early kill,
which is
not only going to get him closer to Dev Gloves a lot sooner, but he also gets the assist for that, putting him 500 gold ahead. But that's a stack on his passive, increasing his damage permanently by 5. Huge, huge win for Barracuda.
So that's one of the biggest boons you have of Bastet is the way her pounce mechanic works. You mentioned it was a dive, but the way Bastet works, being able to get in and get out, it's not as devastating a tower dive. You're level 5, level 4, not even level 5 yet. You don't want to dive the tower. It takes too much percentage of your HP. But when you can get in and get out with 1 hit of the tower, that's not that much of a gamble. And Andy gets the win for it. He gets 1 kill.
Right now, Cloud9 with a huge 2-kill advantage, 700 gold, 500 experience at this stage is pretty devastating. Ares getting those chains off immediately. Ionic throwing out his own shield, which means they're not going to have a level of pressure that they're going to need. And
mid lane.
What is this?
Ultimate hit on the mid laner, and well, gave him all he got. Serqet gets another kill. Gars takes out MLC Stealth. That'll be the first kill for Team SoloMid in this matchup.
Barracuda needs 1 more wave, really not even, only needs about 20 seconds before he's going to have enough gold for Dev's Gloves. Snoopy still almost 600, over 600 gold away, but we got a rotation here. Ionic, what?
Beautiful blink.
Are you serious?
He saw it.
He's just like, nah, son.
Great blink in a turnaround, and mid-camps are going to go the way of, right now they're more focused on the jungler. Gar's going to take a lot of damage for his troubles.
Why didn't they fight that? Stealth was there. Hinla was there. Andy had the cats down. Gars was already low. I really expected them to go for it, but they're going to take the safe route once again. Omega and Divios are both very low in health right now. Divios really trying to bait Omega, and he will safely get back.
The game of solo lane chicken. You left the lane against Bakasura. He'll hog and eat up and
Teleport.
back as well. Teleport online for the solo laner coming out from Cloud9.
So I like this because Divios chooses not to go into Hand of the Gods. I'm not a big proponent of the hand teleport dynamic.
Okay.
Just because as a frontliner, you need to have some type of active that's going to help you. Fist generally isn't going to help you greatly in the end game. And if you're going to use teleport, you're going to need something like Beads or Shell or Heavenly to help the team out. So him going into teleport without Hand of the Gods is a huge win, especially considering Baka was forced into it.
Definitely was forced into that Hand of the Gods, so tier 200 seconds left on that teleport, but Omega has used this active very, very well in the past. Almost, I don't think it would be sacrilege to say that Omega has used the teleport better than most of the other solo laners in our SPL.
You said Omega?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Omega had probably the best teleport usage in the SPL period, and definitely at the championships.
We got to see one of the more exciting plays at the SWC was the Guan Yu teleport over the left-hand side. Just incredible stuff coming out from the horse. So great play in both of these players' past, as well as, you know, a lot of times I respect this coming out from the Bakasura Omega. A lot of times teleport's purchased and you're forced into buying it. Omega has not purchased it yet.
I don't know if he will either. I mean, Bakasura can't really utilize teleport. If he teleports and then uses ult, 1.5 seconds later, he is CC chained and dead. Guaranteed.
Bakasura very much the definition of glass cannon. 2 members deep is Cloud9 right here on Team SoloMid's side. They're going to go ahead and aggress on a tier, but using the CC immunity with Lawbringer, he's going to be able to jump out of there no problem. Divios really not sweating that one.
And he did not have the mana there to follow up. He threw down the bleed, but that's all he had. Omega full health here, not going to really have a line to kill Divios without Heavy Hammer. And look at this, Divios going right in, Fearless Power Cleave, Stance Switch, Power Cleave, going to heal up a little bit. And Omega's going to try to do something. He takes a lot more damage than he gives out in that engagement. And even after the double heals, you see Divios sitting pretty.
Bastet, so mana hungry. That's one of the reasons you get Jotun's Wrath.
Divios is leveling Fearless.
Yes.
That's very curious. Generally speaking, tiers in this meta will be leveling Power Cleave for the extra sustain. So it's very curious to me to see this happening.
He's leveling the Fearless in an effort to do enough damage to push Omega out. Obviously, it hasn't been working thus far, but that's the thought process, I would say.
Man, that was the heal with level 2. Oh, God. Now I'm just annoyed.
Left-hand side, mids are coming up very soon. Team SoloMid being pincered on by a Hunter and a mid laner. Left hands will be given the way of Cloud9. Omega's made the rotation all by himself, though.
6 seconds till regurgitate, and Jeff's in.
Oh, that's a turnaround. Great pull coming out from the air. He's not going to get much of anybody as the ultimates came out, but the cat's going to jump in. Ultimate coming out from MLC Stealth, and again, everybody runs away. So baited out, a lot of ultimates. Decent amount of damage, Brandon, but no deaths, no kills.
Right side camps, looks like, I think they went to Divios there.
Yes, they did. He comes in, gets a Fearless from the right-hand side. Really nothing to do about it. Barracuda, or Bakasura, ultimate out. Gar's taking a lot of damage. And Omega, not Barracuda, will get the kill. Gars goes down, and that's 1 kill on the side of Bakasura. The first player in the game to hit double digits. He's level 10.
That's right. I mean, Heavy Hammer online with the Death Toll has a great line to just burst down any type of squishy character, and I'd say Dagars definitely works into that one. Being Serqet at this stage is very, very difficult, but Gold Fury has been started. Barra took a lot of damage there. Stealth trying to keep Snoopy away from this, but Andy's rotated in, and Iannica's rotated out. Cloud9
just
clearly in the lead here, and we'll add 1,500 more to that number as well. 3,100 gold, 3,000 experience.
The room for error on that Gold Fury fight, Brandon, was 0. At any point in time, Team SoloMid could have had the jungler and the mid laner right there. Snoopy was already there. The gall of Cloud9 to just not only engage the Gold Fury, but stay on it when they saw the opponents there. Very, very aggressive play coming out from players that know that their gods right now are able to be that aggressive. Ares and a Xbalanque with a kill already on board, you don't want to fight that.
With that, Cloud9 has a ton of gold in hand. 1,200 for stealth, 15 right there off the back from Bastet, and 23 from Omega, who Devios just won't let get back to the base.
Nope.
Wow!
It's funny, because usually Omega, or Bakasuras rather, don't want to go back to the base. They want to just kill your tower as soon as possible.
Omega staying alive for a long time there. Mid lane, a big grouping once again, as we might see invade potential. Andy going over, Stealth going to throw the card over the wall perhaps. What's going to happen here? Hand of the Gods will do it. Anister, though, taking a lot of damage for it. Will beads, will jump, and will escape cleanly with the enemy speed.
Great steal coming out. I love the team synergy right there. The card over the wall, waiting for him, support right there just in case. Doesn't have to engage, but could if he needed to. Great team awareness.
Bakasura has gone into teleport. So Omega must play pure assassin here. And with that, what I mean is he cannot dive in. He cannot jump in the late game.
He's diving in right now. Jumping in on Cars and Devios. That's going to be a lot of damage, but there's the Fearless! Omega gets the kill right before the power cleave comes out and takes Andy's life. Did you see the amount of damage on that Fearless?
Yeah, it was big, but didn't have enough sustain from the power cleave to keep him in the lane long enough, and he winds up falling for it. And a blue buff gets stolen away. Omega not even bothering to pick it up. Knows that it might be a little bit too dangerous. He'll just go pick up his own and be happy for it.
You know what's interesting, Brandon? We don't really get to see Omega play Bakasura often. Usually it's banned out or picked up by the other solo laner. MLC Stealth surrounded. Here comes Jeff out of nowhere. Great blink. He's going to get a pull onto Gars, all focus will be on him. Barracuda picks up Ionic. Hindla picks up Gars, and that's a 2-for-0 trade going the way of Cloud9.
Right now, Barracuda is just unstoppable. He's level 11, 2 kills on the passive. We're 7 stacks away from these Dev's Gloves being done. And I mean, he's sitting on a decent amount of gold in hand, or rather he was, he spent it up. He has a lot to do here. I mean, that's what it comes down to. He's at about 1,000 gold in hand, right? When he gets to 1,250, that's when it's going to be scary. Or he could go for Iqbal, that's going to be 1,700.
Devios content with just fighting Omega. Just fighting him, despite not being on the same level. Level 11 on the tier, 13 on the Bakasura. Really no shame in fighting him. But as I was saying, Omega doesn't really get a chance to play Bakasura a lot. But if you ever talk to him or look at stuff that he says publicly, he loves the character and thinks it's arguably the best solo laner. So I'm really excited to see Omega finally on the character.
Left side, Bastet forced to jump away there. Oh, they're going to get a big kill. Andy has nowhere to go. Gars with a big answer there and doesn't get hit by the card. But in the air, Snoopy actually baits out for Boosh. Oh, wow, that was a huge kill. Hindla's in a lot of trouble as well. TSM is looking to possibly make a comeback here off a huge 3-man swing.
That was huge, and unfortunately for Team SoloMid, Gold Fury is not up and won't be up for a while, so they can't really get much stuff after the stuff. They get the kills. That's about it. They're going to pick up some farm in their respective lanes, but not much they could do otherwise. Solo lane, on the other hand, Omega chipping down this tower. Not going to own it quite yet as Gars comes in, provides some triage in the form of defense. Madness hits, Deathbane hits as well. Omega will still fight it. He's level 14, Serqet's only 10. This Bakasura doesn't mind at all.
Omega 14 right now. As F-Dot said, I mean, a 3-level advantage over Devios, who's now going to be going into Runeforge Hammer. A little bit late, but it's going to give him a lot of health, a lot of control. And health is probably the best stat that you can have against Bakasura. Generally speaking, true damage is only going to apply based on auto attacks, and you can't mitigate that with protections. It has to be flat mitigation in terms of you reduce X damage by Y. Or it's going to just be straight up, they attack slower.
Damage. The only way to really provide that flat reduction, as Brandon was saying, is Mark of the Vanguard as Omega picks up that solo lane tower. Mark of the Vanguard, of course, is only 5, so not a lot of damage on the upside of things as things get later and later. So health, as Brandon mentioned, with that Runeforge Hammer, really the main stat you want to go for with respects to mitigating true damage. That said, Devios still, we keep referencing this, 2 levels beneath, doesn't mind fighting the Bakasura.
Right, I mean, that's tier. He heals very well, he has a lot of damage. Also, Omega's Regurgitate is on cooldown. He used it to dive the tower, take it down, and try to burn down Devios. Doesn't get it. Left side, though, Gold Fury, Barracuda, and MLC Stealth look uncontested in their attempts. And as Snoopy rotates over to spot it, he will only have enough pressure to watch the Gold Fury die.
Divios teleports from the backside, gets a beautiful Fearless, but too late. Cloud9 gets the kill. Chains are out on Ionic and Divios. Divios dies. Ionic is going to follow suit.
Another kill for Barra.
Barracuda gets the kill, and that is kill number 3 on that shibby. That'll be a lot.
Oh, here comes Boosh trying to find something, but
Beautiful
oh,
fling.
Jeff getting the chains, only getting 1 set though, and will back off. Boosh using that heal to stay alive and keep the defense as strong as possible. Left side, Andy, who managed to just barely escape, will actually push the tower because all members of TSM are accounted for.
Bakasura able to fight right here in between the 2 towers. Bush is going to provide a little bit of offense, but here comes Omega, distancing as per usual. This time on the assassin, not the support, but is doing it anyway, providing support and gets the kill onto the mid laner. Omega collects his kill and walks to the right-hand side, but first he'll pick up a jungle buff. All the while, Anister on the left-hand side dies to a tower?
He died to archers, and then the tower hit him once. The archers would have killed him anyway. He should have just killed the tower. He's going to incur a rather long 35-second respawn time and doesn't find anything for it. But hey, free trip back to base, right?
Yep, just backing. So it's important to notate that nobody on Team SoloMid will get gold for that.
Right.
The tower gets the kill, so no, the tower's not going to buy a Warlock Sash or anything. Nobody gets the gold
man, could you
for
imagine?
that. Warlock Sash on the tower? I'd rather not. Team SoloMid right now, 14.5 minutes in, trailing by a large amount. 7,000 gold in the lead is Cloud9 G2A, and Omega's fighting just like he knows it. Ultimate coming out from Divios, trying to run away from Omega, but Omega's going to go ahead, and if he can catch up, that's it. Jump is good. Gets the hit on the slow. Divios is going to run away. Great ultimate coming out from Barracuda.
Jesus. Oh, the baits!
Waiting.
Oh my god. Omega, please. I can't. No. No!
So, Omega, one of the more aggressive players in the SPL.
You don't say.
He's going to go ahead and back. Boosh! Able to hit him from a mile away, Omega. You have paid for your transgressions, and a beautiful shot coming out from Boosh onto the stationary target.
Barracuda really bursting down Snoopy right there, forcing him to sprint away. Astro Barrage on cooldown as well. As MLC Stealth looks to cut off the path, he will indeed. Card gonna be, yeah, it is good. Big time slows coming out. Snoopy in a lot of trouble and will be picked off. Nothing to gain here as the Gold Fury's down.
So that play coming out on the side of Omega, there's an adage. Play the lead, don't let the lead play you, Brandon.
Right.
That's a Bakasura saying, I'm 7,000 gold in the lead and I can do whatever I want. And then Bush says, wait a second, you are still in the SPL. We are professional players. We will punish you. And that's exactly what Team SoloMid did. So it's not going to win them the game anytime soon, Brandon, but you have to punish those mistakes to keep yourself mentally in the game.
So 7,800 gold separates the two teams, as well as 11,000 experience, putting both teams in a rather great position for the mid game, or rather Cloud9's ability for the mid game. It's going to put Team SoloMid in a good position in terms of defense, just because of it's very hard to deal with Ra, especially once the Lotus Crown comes out. But that is a golden sash. We are not going to see a Lotus Crown till at least 4th item. Golden hand for Ra. It looks like there goes the sash. So he's 2,100 gold away.
I like the pickup of the Warlock Sash. Tried and true item. Most people really know what it brings to the table. Good Fearless into the power cleave coming out from Divios, but Omega's got to be a little bit careful now, and you see he's a little bit more respectful of the stance switching solo laner on the side of TSM.
Stealth facing off against 3. Gar is having the presence of mind to press forward, throws out the Cobra's Kiss but doesn't find it. MLC Stealth will get some pretty uncontested experience here. As right camps are being contested almost solely by Anister, and he will get them.
Blink in from Jeff Hindla is good, but the ultimate from Ram is better. Snoopy will land, and the chain is a little bit early coming out from Jeff. No pain, no mind. Barracuda picks up the tower. Fight rages on the left-hand lane, looking for more. Barracuda ultimates. No one on Team SoloMid can see anything. MLC Stealth is here, and he's pushing people out with that ultimate. Great double stun from the Demon Hunter, but Team SoloMid is turning it around. 1 kill for Ram, 1 kill for Hindla.
But Andy's here. The Cats are going to find a double kill in the back line. Andy, big big chance here to turn things around. It's going to be hard to catch Boost, but he activates those beads for 3-second cooldown. Oh, and he doesn't get to Claude. He just manages to miss that one. But with that, Gold Fury should be respawning here in just a second as you watch Bay come down. Hinla and Andy are here, though without Cats. Right side, Omega keeping the pressure on is Devios not in a great spot. Will be picked off.
That time he could not pillar Omega very well. Omega had the better of him. Got the kill that time around, even though it looked just like the last play. So Omega, better dancer this time than the last. Claims the life of Devios.
No double hand here. Jeff Hinla getting very, very low. Are they going to be able to take this one? They're trading it back and forth perfectly. It's getting lower, and they got it. Cloud9 does manage to find 1,500 extra gold, extending their already exorbitant lead up to 12,000.
We talked earlier about the last Gold Fury they did, about how the room for error was 0.
Yeah.
That one. Now that Gold Fury, the room for error was 0. If any of the members of the enemy team looked at them the wrong way, that was going to go.
There could have been a cough in their general direction and they would have died.
Pretty much, Brandon. They
Omega,
were so
though,
fragile.
Takes the tier 2.
Yeah.
13,000 gold now in their favor. 17,000 experience with only one level 20 on the board. Cloud9 should be able to take this game pretty cleanly, but we have seen them up against TSM before, and they fell the last time with the 2 Phoenix advantage.
Yeah, if you guys are just joining us, this is the second game in a best of 3 coming out from Cloud9, and the first game they dropped to Team SoloMid despite being massively in the lead for the majority of that game. So this time around, Cloud9 versus Team SoloMid. C9's leading in the 5-digit category as far as 13,000 gold is concerned, which is usually a death sentence. But because we've seen what TSM can do, we're a little bit more hesitant to claim that. But Cloud9's just going to claim the Fire Giant, and there's really not much TSM can do about it, as Omega is the only one drawing eyes from TSM.
Jesus.
And Ram, Snoopy, is in the other lane, left-hand side of the map, taking out a tower.
I mean, they got to do something. They know they don't have a line to that FG, right? So they're like, all right, let's try to split push. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 picks and a split push. That's their lead back in, but they're just too big.
They're going to chase down the support right here. Eon's going to roll out a little too fast for them to give chase, but I think that's okay in the book of Cloud9, as with Fire Giant around their waists, they're going to take this belt to the Firebird. They'll take out this right-hand Phoenix almost instantaneously. Great damage coming out from the guys on the side of Cloud9.
End the game. They see Serqet in the mid. They see Snoopy in the left. That's a 5-second return, and it shouldn't take much longer than that to finish up this game. Not with Barracuda swinging the way that he is. He's 3-1-3, and it completely started the early game. Barracuda has carried this one front to back here as Jeff Hinla picks it up. That's a clean win. Cloud9 going to force game 3.
Yeah, Cloud9 played exceptionally well. It almost, you could feel it. A lot of times we talk about how this game, and well, most games are largely mental as well as mechanical. You felt how angry they were that they dropped that first game. As we mentioned, it was a come-from-behind victory for TSM, so
that's right.
Great play coming out from Cloud9.
And with that, we're going to take a look at the first blood, which I'm pretty sure belonged to Mr. Barracuda himself, starting off real strong with Xbalanque. Anytime that you can start a duo lane with Xbalanque getting a kill and adding 5 damage, I mean, life is good.
Yeah, he goes ahead and he secures that kill. And
look at
are we going to continue? We are. And there's a double kill. It was helped out by Amister on the cat. And you know that I'm glad that we showed that second kill because it was all one sequence. You know, the chain from Jeff Hinla prevented the rollout onto the Geb, and Xbalanque obviously provided the damage. The jump over from Amister was really how it did. But you know, we talked about 3 members just now. But we didn't mention the solo laner, and that's what we're going to take a look at right now. Omega, player of the game for Game 2 right now, 4-1-1 as Bakasura. And you said, I completely agree with this. I think Bakasura against Devios, Omega's play in this game completely changed the feel of the game towards the mid.
Okay, I was actually thinking it was going to be Barracuda with the early kill, you know, Xbalanque getting big, but, I mean, Omega played amazingly.
Yeah.
Every single time we thought he was going to wind up dead, he wound up picking up a kill. That kill, that was probably the game changer right there.
Yep.
I mean, Devio should have found a trade there, and it was like a frame off. Omega cleans it up beautifully, and look at this, sending everybody out once again. Beautiful kills all around.
And you know, that right there is a hallmark of Omega play. Whatever he's playing, Brandon, he is the spacer for this team. What he does is he pushes kept the enemy off of whatever objective his team is trying to get, and in doing so, he provided the kill. And you know, it's funny, Brandon. 4-1-1 is not a spectacular slash line. We've seen much better. Bronx Bombers with 16-3 earlier today for enemy esports, but he did very well. Stuff that doesn't wind up on the scoreboard. And he made one of the bigger goofs we've seen in SPL and still winds up with player of the game. That's how you know he's really altered the state for both of these teams.
And with that, we're going to be going into Game 3 in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break, get everything ready, and we'll be right back to finish up the day. Stick around.